It's a heavily laden oil pro cabinet supporting Mr. Trump.
Hello David, and thank you for joining us today. So let's jump straight in with the big topic. Donald Trump is seen as being fairly skeptical of climate change.
Right.
So what can we expect from him and his cabinet?
Well, Jack, he has stacked his cabinet full of oil producing personnel. His Secretary of State, Tillerson, was former head of ExxonMobil. His Department of Energy appointee, Perry, is actually a board director of the company building the Dakota pipeline. That's kind of controversial. And even the Environmental Protection Agency head, Mr. Pruitt, was very much against Obama's climate change initiatives. So it's a heavily laden oil pro cabinet supporting Mr. Trump.
So with the USA being such a global power and now sort of undermining certain agreements and accords around the world, is this the new age of oil?
Well, Jack, there is now a move towards referring to what was the oil industry or petrochemicals or fossil fuels as now the polluting industries. And the US itself is on the bandwagon very much renewable energy. In the last couple of years, you've seen increased investment in renewable energy. You've seen at the same time that switch away from fossil fuels or polluting fuels to the detriment of the coal industry, where I think 3 out of the 4 biggest coal producers have gone bankrupt in the last 2 years. You have states generating more than 25% of their energy now from wind, like Iowa and South Dakota. This isn't going to go backwards. This isn't going to revert back to oil burning fires sort of in the house anymore. And of course, the states themselves with their own governors are very autonomous to some extent. And I think you on an irreversible change with the oil companies themselves investing very heavily in renewable energy sources. So this is not the age of oil whatsoever. The trends are showing it's going irreversibly towards renewable.
So that's the USA dealt with. What about the rest of the world?
Well, I think Donald Trump may find that if he tries to retard the development of the US into renewable energy, they'll lose pace. I mean, you see China just it recently launched in Qinghai the biggest solar farm on this planet. They really are aiming to become a green energy colossus in the world after so much of these pollution stories you hear of the major cities in China. If you look at nuclear as an alternative, the problem there you're now seeing with Fukushima, the TEPCO-controlled power station in Japan that blew up a number of years ago, we're now seeing the highest radiation levels since the reactors blew up. So what they're showing there is like, we tried to decommission the Fukushima plant, it's not working. And in fact, I saw today disturbing levels of radiation all the way across to the northwest coast of the United States, where fish stocks are dying off from leakage of like 30 tons of radioactive water a day out of Fukushima. So the rest of the world isn't going to jump into nuclear anytime soon. And then at a more local level here in Europe, today, the UK announced that car sales for alternative fueled vehicles is up 20% from a year ago. People moving away from oil and diesel. You've got the 5 biggest utilities in Europe have lost 100 million euros worth of market capital in the last 5 years as this shift is going away from the traditional fuels. And I think with cheaper solar and wind energy and cheaper electric cars, more and more renewable energy sources are going to come mainstream and become part of our daily supply of energy.
David, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Jack.
And thank you for watching. And if you like this video and would like to see more, be sure to stay with us here at Dukascopy TV.